Hey guys, Weiss here. Welcome to another video. I did not want to make this video because I don't like what has been happening at my favorite store. Half Price Books is indeed my favorite store. I'm a big fan of books and I love looking through their used books, their magazines, their old vintage paperbacks. I found a lot of great deals at Half Price Books over the year. A lot of you in the South and the Midwest know about this chain. I've been going there since I was a little kid. As a child, I loved buying comic books there, getting them for half price off the newsstand cover price. And in general, you can still find good deals at half price. Their video games are typically what you might see them for on eBay or at a store, just a regular video game store. You're not gonna find that many video game bargains these days, except sometimes just some common stuff in clearance or whatever for modern consoles. But today I want to talk about a disturbing trend I've seen with Half Price Books, and I've noticed this before for a few years now, but it's only gotten worse. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. But let's talk about Half Price Books. And I'm a little irritated about this. You guys know I'm pretty easygoing, but I don't like what I've seen. So I noticed it every once in a while. I even did a TikTok video of a dumpster full of books at half price. Now what they do, it gets worse. When you go in and sell a bunch of books to half price, they will typically just make you an offer for everything you have. They don't really weed out what they want and what they want you to take home or whatever. It's all or nothing pretty much, and they're not gonna parse it out or whatever. All well and good. Capitalism, free marketplace, it's awesome. They make you an offer, you can accept it or leave it. So there you go. Unfortunately, a lot of the books they take in that they tell you they're gonna recycle, and I've heard them say this before, that they will recycle these books. Unfortunately, these books end up in the dumpster. And I've seen this many times over the years. Unfortunately, lately, it's gotten worse. Now they still do this with books, but increasingly, DVDs, Blu-rays, and even video games. They will take in a ton of these and throw them in the trash. Now this is bad for a number of reasons, but before I get to that, I want to tell you how I just sort of stumbled across the fact that they were doing this. There's a Half Price Books near my house, 15 minutes away, 10 minutes away driving distance or whatever. And I've even ridden my bike there a few times. It is beside a park. Sometimes I'll walk around the park, like I'll park my car in the middle of the park or between the park and Half Price Books. And I'll go to the park, walk around, and then I'll walk over to Half Price Books, go get a drink. There's restaurants in the area, whatever. It's just a fun place to park and walk around to some different stores in the area. There's a Five Below, there's a pet store, pretty fun stuff. Nice way to kill a Saturday afternoon. Unfortunately, when I've walked by their dumpster a few times, because it's, park my car over here, walk from the park, yeah, I'll poke my head in the dumpster just to see what's there out of curiosity. And I have seen huge loads of DVDs. Now, these are not being recycled. These are not being donated. These are being taken to the landfill. And they are in the dumpster, just the regular trash dumpster where you would put any kind of trash. Now, they're not just putting junk out there. Factory sealed DVDs. I've seen Disney Blu-rays, 2-disc sets in excellent condition. I've seen all kinds of stuff in there, and I've gotten to where when I do this little ritual, when I go park my car between the park and Half Price Books, I will look in there and see what they have. And it's just nauseating. I do not like this for a variety of reasons. Okay, first, it's going straight to the landfill, not a good thing. Secondly, it's extremely wasteful. There's a lot of us out here who still enjoy physical media. Why don't they just put these on library carts and set them out on the sidewalks and sell these for $1, 50 cents, a quarter. It's better than them going to waste and going in the landfill. This is hypocritical of Half Price Books. They position themselves and they talk about being an eco-friendly business. They talk about recycling. They talk about not wanting to use plastic bags. And in fact, occasionally at Half Price Books, recently I was at one and they just said, we don't have plastic bags. And I don't know if that's moving forward. They've talked before about getting rid of bags altogether and that kind of thing. So you can juggle all your books and DVDs out to your car, but they have no compunction with, filling up dumpster after dumpster after dumpster filled with stuff that they're going to throw away. And not only is it wasteful for some of us who would like some of this stuff in our collections, it goes into the landfill. And not only that, they don't sell this stuff. They could donate it. There's one half-price books that's on the way home from my work that I will stop by from time to time. And I will walk to the back to see what they've been throwing away out of morbid curiosity. And man, it's some really good stuff. And they patrol this area, and they don't want people, digging stuff out of there. Some of them have signs or whatever. They got security cameras. So they throw this stuff away. And they want it stayed thrown away. They don't want you taking it. And the really frustrating thing is this half-price books that's on the way home from work is really close to a thrift store. Not a Goodwill, not one of the bigger chain thrift stores, by one of these mom and pop thrift stores where the vast majority of the money goes direct to charity. Now, a lot of these kind of thrift stores help women's shelters, help the homeless, or help churches or whatever. Regardless, there are lots of thrift stores all over town. All half-price books has to do is cart this stuff over to these thrift stores. Now you're thinking, well, what if these thrift stores don't want this stuff? I've seen thrift stores that are right by half-price books where their media section is bare bones. I'm sure they would love to have, especially these nicer DVDs. Now, I don't have really much of a problem with half-price books throwing away scratched up DVDs. If they have 1 million copies of something, I guess that's, nah, I'm not giving them a pass on 1 million copies. They can donate this stuff or just blow it out for a quarter on sidewalk sales. Now, I have spoken to a couple of different ex-employees of half-price books about this practice, and they've not only thrown away what they perceive as stuff they don't need over the years, sometimes they throw away good stuff that they don't realize is valuable, like vintage paperback books. They get in a lot more than you'll see that are out for sale. That's a story for another day. I want to focus on what I've seen lately with them just throwing tons of stuff away. So if you're going to sell your DVDs, Blu-rays, and even video games, I've seen some common Wii titles and some other stuff that I usually see at clearance on half price. They might sell it for $1, $2, or $3, and they always blow out of this stuff. No reason to ever throw away a video game. You can always sell just about any video game for $1, unless it's just beat to hell or something. But so much stuff that they have looks perfectly fine, and it's just really frustrating. Mainly, and not just selfishly, mainly because they're filling up the landfill, because of their hypocrisy about being this eco-friendly company and just filling up the landfill, them saying they're recycling books. And then I guess in cases they have recycle containers. Some of these big, big waste containers in the back do have the recycle sign, but I know a lot of this stuff is just going straight to the standard dumpster because I've seen it with trash piled on top of it, with food containers and just the normal trash. The most disturbing is the tons and tons and tons of plastic, DVDs, Blu-rays, and video games. These aren't biodegradable like books are, much more so. So this is just really frustrating, and I hate to see it because I love half-price books, and I'm not telling you not to shop there. I'm not telling you not to sell your DVDs, Blu-rays, and video games there. You might have some really good stuff that they might give you a little more than they usually do. They're kind of infamous for giving you pennies on the dollar for some pretty good stuff, but if you've got top-of-the-line stuff, maybe they'll give you a decent price. For me, it's varied over the years. I've taken boxes of books there and, gotten a few dollars for several boxes of books. And to be fair, they only have a certain amount of space on their shelves to stock stuff. So I don't blame them for giving small amounts of money for tons of boxes of stuff if they legitimately can't use it. And if they're upfront about telling you that they're only going to keep part of the stuff to put in their stores. And they're good about that. And I have no problem with the free market of it all. But I do have a problem with them just throwing all this physical media away, all these plastic cases, these discs that they could donate if nothing else. Now, I know why they don't have sidewalk sales, at least this one store, because this person I used to know at this one store would say he told me the manager didn't like to have sidewalk sales, didn't like to have these library carts filled with books and DVDs and all this stuff for $1 or $2 a piece because they thought it makes the store look trashy or junky, or especially on the sidewalk out front. They don't want to look like a flea market or a garage sale. Give me a freaking break. People love to go to half-price books for that very reason, so they can dig through stuff, so they can find bargains, so they can find cheap media, physical media. Anyway, time to get off my high horse, off my soapbox, but this is just really frustrating to me. Half-price books, let me know in the comments. Do you ever sell stuff to half-price books? I hate to say it, but a lot of it might end up in the dumpster, in the landfill, where you do not want this stuff. And if you have good, rather than taking, a couple of boxes of DVDs in and getting $3, $6, a nickel a DVD or whatever, just donate it, or maybe take it to somewhere like Movie Trading Company. Maybe they have different practices. I don't know. I would imagine they have a better way of getting rid of these DVDs. And since they actually specialize in DVDs and have a lot bigger section for those, maybe Movie Trading Company throws less stuff away. Let me know in the comments your experiences at half-price books in general. Maybe you've had a lot of positive experiences over the year. I certainly have. I have found a lot of great stuff there. I still enjoy shopping there. I'm just a little frustrated that they throw away so much stuff that's going to end up in the landfill when they could donate it or sell it or whatever. It just seems ridiculous. Come on, guys. And Half Price Books also has periodically these giant sales at, convention centers. Well, they would just put stuff out for $1 or $2 a piece, or maybe 50 cents. And yeah, they only have so much storage space. They can only do this so often. But man, they've got to find a better way to get rid of their physical media that's in really excellent condition. I've seen some good stuff, guys. Let me know in the comments. Have you found anything at Half Price Books in the dumpster that you've been able to keep, or whatever the case? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. We will talk to you in another video.